Welcome to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison.
I'm Molly, a former skeptic, now full-time energy healer, author, and your resident science meets spirit nerd.
And I'm Madison, a born and raised witch, teacher of the craft, and owner of not one, not two, but 3 metaphysical businesses.
Together we dig into low-effort witchcraft, spirituality, and the science that backs it all up, all with humor, heart, and a sprinkle of chaos.
So whether you're a curious skeptic or a seasoned witch, find a cozy spot, take a deep breath, and let's demystify some magic. Howdy doody, friends.
Howdy and a doody, friends.
Welcome back to our final installment of the Wheel of the Year Sabbat series.
People doubted us if we could record 8 episodes in 48 hours. And by people, I mean we.
Yes, I was going to say by people, she means us.
We are people. I want you to know that a few days ago, we also recorded 2 episodes. And so we've done 10 episodes in a fucking 5-day period. That's bonkers.
I'm really proud of us.
I think they're actually good,
We're
too.
killing it.
I mean, you'll let us know. Imagine if everyone was like, this series stinks.
I know. Hate it.
Unsubscribe.
Well, good news is we'll have done the whole thing before anybody gets to give their opinion. And that's what I love about this podcast is that we get to do it in advance.
I know. And honestly, like, jokes aside, we've had a lot of fun making a video podcast for the first time ever. It's not something we can normally do because Madison's in Florida and I'm in Maine, and none of you want to see our Zoom screens. Like, they're not cute.
Unless you do, in which case, let us know if this is something that you really, really love watching us, because I don't feel like we really did a ton to add to the visual medium. So if you just like looking at our faces while we talk, let us know. If enough of you beg, we could be convinced every once in a while.
I was going to say, if you want to see us in HD on a video podcast.
Oh, yeah. We do have one.
You can support us at our Patreon.
And if you want more content, that's how you can support as well.
Yeah.
We do a monthly extra bonus podcast called A Court of Molly and Madison, ACAMOM for short. And it's a grand old time. If you like the tangents, it's a good place to be.
We also have a clubhouse with a community grimoire in it. So we have listener spells, but we also have worksheets from some of our longer episodes, including this series. All of our notes are in there, as well as some rituals that we made just for you and tarot spreads for each of the Sabbats.
Yeah. So
your one-stop shop. If you're like, I don't know what to do for the Sabbat and I don't want to listen to these buffoons again, you can just go in there and take our notes.
Yeah. Have fun. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
What are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about Mabon.
Mabon.
Also sometimes pronounced Mabon. I treat them interchangeably.
Yeah.
Mabon just doesn't, my mouth, it makes me feel like I got marbles in my mouth.
Yeah, it doesn't work with my New England accent.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see how that happens. But it's the autumn equinox.
Yeah.
So
one of my favorites.
Yes,
one of my top 2 favorite equinoxes.
And really, Mabon is what I call pagan Friendsgiving.
Oh, cute.
And so it is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
But before we dive in, we do have our magic moment from our Patreon community.
Mm-hmm. You want to hold it up for me so I can read it?
Yeah. This one comes from Kelly.
Friend of the pod, Kelly. Can't wait to see these episodes. Us too, Kelly. Us too.
Let us know what you think.
My magic moment is that I started ADHD medication this week after 7 long months of therapy, getting diagnosed and finding a psychiatrist. I really tried to prioritize my mental health this year because I was tired of being overwhelmed with my ADHD symptoms. Both Molly and Madison's openness about how much medication have helped them emotionally and spiritually really gave me the courage to try it for myself. Here's to shutting my brain up so I can hear my intuition a little better.
Yay!
Yes, Kelly. Yes. One thing about us, if you are new to this podcast, is we're not into the bypassing. We both are proud, medicated girlies.
Yes.
And intuitive as fuck. So anyone who tells you that medication is going to stunt your intuition, they're not friends of ours.
Yeah. Talk to my doctor about it because can't relate.
Imagine saying that to someone who needs insulin to survive.
Right?
Gross.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty behavior.
For me, Prozac, just as important.
So, Mabon. Autumn equinox. Again, the date's going to change every year, but it's usually somewhere between September 20th and 23rd in the Northern Hemisphere.
I love the autumn equinox. I'm so excited for the autumn equinox. It is either September 11th or 12th right now, depending on when we recorded this episode, which you will never know when this was because we're Bake Off style.
This bit, it's really killing me.
It's the last time you'll hear it. So not that we're recording this last. We might be, but we might not be also. But no, seriously, it's coming up and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited for the autumn equinox Reiki ceremony is probably my favorite because it's just like, I don't know, autumn is my favorite season. Like I'm already feeling it in Maine, like the crispy air and like the apple cider is coming out, the pick your own signs and the leaves are starting to fall. And it's just, it's my favorite. Like the other day I woke up and I got to put a hoodie on when I took the dogs out. Please.
Beautiful.
I
what I
love
would
it.
not give. What I would not
love it.
give. Oh, very jealous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Mabon, the name is something that was brought in later in the modern pagan interpretation. And it is, again, another little bit of like an amalgamation of autumn equinox ceremonies that have been celebrated all over the world since the beginning of time. You know, you'll kind of notice that throughout the series that the most of the solstices and equinoxes are a collection, a buffet, like you said, of different things, like the more traditional things that you'll see when you read about the Wheel of the Year, when you see people talking about it, they'll kind of be taken from that amalgamation of different solstice and equinox celebrations around the world. And then those intermediaries, the sabbats in between, usually come from something more specific, like Samhain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So the autumn equinox, you'll notice those. It's another harvest festival. So it's going to have where Lunasa was very wheat focused. Mabon will be very like other vegetable, like very root vegetable focused. You know, it's a lot of pumpkins, a lot of gourds, a lot of other, you know, that like
turnips, delicata squash. You ever had a delicata?
I can't say I have.
Oh my God, I'm making everyone delicata squash.
Okay.
You don't have to peel it because the skin is so thin. So I just like cut it real thin and then I roast it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pep.
Yum.
Oh my God.
Really?
It is so good. Because if you've ever like, you know how butternut squash, if you peel it, you get butternut squash hands?
I don't eat a ton of squash. So no.
Okay, one thing I learned, so I made butternut squash soup from scratch a couple of years ago. And afterwards I was like, oh my God, I'm allergic to butternut squash because my hands were like raw and on fire.
What?
And then I Googled it and it's like a thing, butternut squash hands. Like a lot of people, when they peel butternut squash and chop it up, they get like, it's something with the enzymes does something to your fingers. And so like for an entire day, my hands just felt like they were going to fall off. So now I'm like, I just buy pre-chopped butternut squash.
Wow.
And, but delicata doesn't have that issue. And it's so like, it's a tiny little gourd. It's beautiful because it's striped and you just.
Striped?
Yeah.
Because it's striped? Love that.
Yeah.
I'm changing that pronunciation immediately.
It's striped and you cut it up and it's like sweet, but it doesn't have that mush factor.
Yeah. That's what I don't love about a squash is that it's just.
No, because it's got kind of like,
strange.
the skin is so thin that it kind of reminds me of like, in no way, shape, or form, it reminds me of an M&M, but kind of the vibe of an M&M where the crust.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And so it's just so good. And you can just buy, and they're like single size, like they're single serving size.
Oh.
Yeah. They're so good. It's my favorite. Like when the delicata squash comes out, I come out. Like me. It's like just,
Well, now I have to find one.
I fear they might be like fiddleheads where you can only find them for a short period of time in Maine.
Well, I'll give it a goog later.
Come on
I'll
up.
discover.
Come on up.
Here I come. Okay, so.
But gourds,
yes.
root vegetables, parsnips, carrots.
Yes. It's very Thanksgiving adjacent, like a lot of Thanksgiving imagery.
Without the colonization.
Exactly. And that's what I love so much about it is that it's like a purer version of that like gratitude ritual that comes with Thanksgiving. And I am a Thanksgiving girly. I came from like a very...
Her birthday's on Thanksgiving.
Sometimes, because Thanksgiving changes every year.
Yeah.
This year, it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, that's the ideal.
Yeah.
Or it's the Sunday. Sorry, last year it was the Saturday. The weekend before Thanksgiving is always the ideal.
Yeah.
Because growing up, most people either like had like were, you know, either like just about to leave or hadn't left yet for, you know, their like family vacation, whatever. Like it was the
no one's exhausted.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody's all, you know, like whatever. Everybody's
Black
doing
Friday deals aren't flooding your inbox yet.
Yeah. And so it's like a nice time. It's a good time to have your birthday. So mine's the Sunday before. But my family's always been like a big Thanksgiving family. And so having a second Thanksgiving kind of through Mabon is really nice. I love it. I love a feast. I love a gathering. I've like, as since we moved to St. Pete and I have more space than I've ever had before,
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed hosting, and Mabon's a really great time for that.
Mm-hmm.
But the more modern interpretations, first of all, something that I learned recently that I thought was really interesting is Mabon was not always a part of the Wheel of the Year. So the Wheel of the Year was invented in the 1950s by that guy, Gerald Gardner, who kind of sucks.
Fuck that guy.
Aidan Kelly made up the name Mabon in the 70s.
Who did?
His name's Aidan Kelly.
Aidan Kelly. Okay.
And he brought it into the Wheel of the Year too.
So it used to be just 7?
I think so. And I'm not exactly sure when Mabon was specifically brought in, but it was brought in to bring balance to the Wheel of the Year. So to have that like kind of
Equal
complete
spokes.
circle,
Yeah.
I believe Mabon was the last one added. And it was named Mabon after a Welsh mythical figure that has absolutely no ties to the equinox whatsoever. Like it was just named.
Love that.
So if you want to just call it the autumn equinox, that's great too.
Great.
But it's been kind of that like idea that it's the pagan Thanksgiving is obviously a modern interpretation that's deeply American in belief. And so that's a more modern thing. It's like, I feel like that's just an easier way to
Describe
connect it. Yeah, describe it and connect it. Again, like Yule and Christmas. I feel like it's easier to celebrate when I have something that I've always understood that I can connect it to. The timing is obviously a little bit different, so it's not as much of a seamless overlap.
Yeah.
But I love a feast, and therefore I will have 2 feasts always.
Yeah.
I will never complain about another opportunity for a large gathering and a meal.
I love a Tofurky.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Like there's Tofurky lovers, Tofurky haters. If Tofurky has no fans, I am dead.
Good to know.
And I'm very particular about my brand of Tofurky.
Yeah. I have never been a tofu person. I was a vegetarian for a long time through high school and college.
Tofurky and tofu are different.
But I guess
texturally and taste-wise.
What I mean is I was not a fake meat person.
Yeah.
I was not like a meat substitute kind of
girl.
I
knew that
was
about you.
always like I'll just have more of the other stuff, you know? And so I never really got to enjoy the fruits of a Tofurky.
Oh my God. I literally have one in my freezer right now because they often sell out. So whenever I see one in like spring, because they've started putting them out around Easter.
Oh, that's smart.
But my grocery stores, they only stock like 1 or 2. So if you see one, you have to grab one. So I keep it in my freezer until like Thanksgiving.
Good to know.
And then I'll go and I'll get one at Thanksgiving for Christmas. And then I'll get one for Christmas for next Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I never, because there was one year where we literally could not find one. I drove 90 miles to pick up a Tofurky.
And
everyone was like, Molly, just have like tofu. Like we can make you something else. And I was like,
it's the reason for the season.
Genuinely, because the Tofurky sandwiches after it, I am like Ross on Friends about my Tofurky sandwiches. Like the moist maker.
You know, I don't know the reference.
You take one of every side.
Oh, I mean, I know that that's like a thing, but I don't know.
And you put it in, but then you have a moist maker. So we have a family Tofurky gravy recipe. It's very important not to use the gravy that comes with the Tofurky. It's too salty. I don't like it, and it congeals, and it's weird texturally. Blech. So we make our own Tofurky gravy. And so when you make the sandwich, you have to soak a piece of the challah bread in the Tofurky gravy to make a moist maker, and that's the middle layer. So that when you stack it, it's bread, usually stuffing, Tofurky, gravy, moist maker, usually green beans or sweet potatoes or whatever, and then the other piece of bread, and that's the sandwich.
Wow.
And I live off of that sandwich for the entire month of November into early December.
That's incredible. This is maybe blasphemous in some way, as I'm talking about how like, oh, my family, I'm like such a Thanksgiving family, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't make the sandwich. I just remake the Thanksgiving meal over and over until
I do that too.
Gone. I have it. I'm not really, I have a very small head.
Yeah.
And therefore I have a small mouth.
Yeah.
And so I can really only
could have fooled me.
Haha. You know, what I lose in real estate, I make up in attitude. And therefore I can't really have like a huge sandwich.
Yeah.
It becomes a logistical nightmare for me.
No, I
as
like
a
to
person.
compress the sandwich down.
Oh, compress it like a panini.
Yeah.
Wow. I could have a Thanksgiving panini, I bet. I could get into that. But I just enjoy the meal of Thanksgiving so much that I will just recreate it over and over and over.
No,
until
I'm the
it's
same
gone.
way. So like my mom makes homemade challah bread for, my stepdad. And, it's just it's a family favorite now.
Yeah, of course.
She started making it for like some, Jewish holiday that we celebrated one time. And then we're all like, challah bread for everything. And she makes it homemade and it's so good.
Amazing.
She always makes us an extra loaf. but we go through it so fast that like once I run out of challah bread, I can't make the sandwich anymore. So I usually only get like 1 or 2 sandwiches.
Got it.
And then I just make the plate of the feast over and 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 over.
Wow.
And over.
We have a lot of leftovers because in my house, so my stepdad loves to cook, and my youngest stepbrother, he like went to a culinary high school.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
fancy.
Didn't know those existed.
It's like a program in like a regular high school, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And there was like a restaurant in his high school.
What?
It was wild.
For the kids or for the like people of the world?
Like the kids would cook and you could go in.
Like people of the world.
People of the world could go in, and that's
that
how
sounds like a safety nightmare.
Well, it's how they raised money for the program.
But it was in the high school?
It's like it's connected to the high school, but it's
separate.
own building.
But it's separate.
Yeah, with like a separate entrance.
Okay. I was like picturing it in the lobby of a high school. And I was like, in America?
No.
God forbid.
No. It's like it's connected, but not.
Yeah,
like
gotcha.
it's connected through the kitchen. So
okay.
students can get in and out.
Yeah,
but
okay,
the
but it's
public
separate.
entrance is separate from the high school
Understood.
entrance.
Yeah.
And my mom and I would go because she would volunteer with the program when he was in high school.
Yeah.
And we would just go and have lunch there sometimes, and it was pretty good.
Sounds great.
But they will always overdo it, and it's like a constant fight in my family. We've like coined a saying of like no experimenting on Thanksgiving. You can't experiment on Thanksgiving because they will get into it. Like they will be like, oh, I'm gonna try this new recipe, and then it either sucks or it's taking up too much space on the table, or my little brother starts it at like 12:45 and everybody's coming over at 2 and there's like 18 things in the oven. And so I have lots of opportunities for different Thanksgiving meals. Like it could probably feed the whole family for a week afterwards.
Yeah, we actually have been hosting Thanksgiving for the past couple of years. Usually my mom hosts every like holiday because she's the foodie, she's the cook, and she loves to host. But her biggest thing, because she's Danish, is Christmas Eve dinner is like her thing. And she's like, she doesn't care about Thanksgiving. So we started hosting because she didn't want to cook a Tofurky anymore.
And can we blame her? Can we blame her?
Whoa. Okay.
I'm not saying, and listen, nothing against the Tofurky. I'm just saying that I would feel stress if Thanksgiving wasn't my favorite holiday to host and I had to have a turkey and a Tofurky, I would experience anxiety.
She wouldn't. She doesn't cook turkey either. We don't do turkey in our family because nobody likes turkey. So we do ham because then my mom can make like pea soup with the ham hock.
Okay.
And my father-in-law loves ham.
Got it.
And so
do you like this Thanksgiving episode that we're doing, everyone?
So we do ham and Tofurky. It is literally so close to lunch. I know we've been saying that for the last couple of episodes, but I'm so hungry.
It's time to eat.
But anyways, we've been hosting, and no one but me really likes the Thanksgiving sides more than the first day.
Yeah.
And so I get all of the leftovers.
That's excellent.
And I hate to cook, so I just cook once, and it feeds me forever.
Amazing.
Ever. It's so good.
Okay, before we actually get into what this episode's really supposed to be about, let's hear from our sponsors.
Yeah, I'll be taking a snack during this break. This episode is sponsored by us. You, my friend, told us that you want rituals and spiritual tools that work with your busy life, not against it.
The perks of our Patreon are built for that. We have notes from this episode and more, plus bonus spells, rituals, worksheets, and more.
When you join our Patreon, you get bonus pod episodes where we go deeper into everything from unhinged tangents, puppy updates, to spell work. You never know what we're gonna yap about, but we promise it'll make your day feel lighter. You also get access to notes from our deep dive episodes and spell guides created just for the Clubhouse, plus behind the scenes content where we share insights, host Q&As, do group chats, and you can post your magic moments or ask your magical questions. You also get early access and special discounts on workshops, events, and merch.
By supporting us, you're also helping keep this podcast free and letting us invest in better content, longer episodes, and more magic. Maybe another video series?
Could be fun. If this feels like the kind of grounded, ritual, real magic space that you want, we would love to welcome you inside the Patreon. All the tiers get the same magic, so pay what you want as you head to demystifymagic.com. Thanks to us for sponsoring this episode.
We've gotten really into how we celebrate Thanksgiving. And how we celebrate Mabon is kind of close, honestly. Just for me, it's like Thanksgiving on a smaller scale. And so in a perfect world, I get everybody together all the time for Mabon. That's not usually how it works out for me. I truly, my Mabon ritual most of the time is telling myself for months and months and months that I'm going to put a Mabon Friendsgiving on the calendar and invite everybody and have everybody over and do like a mini Thanksgiving and then not doing it.
Yeah.
So really my Mabon ritual is mostly thinking about it.
Love that.
But one thing that has kind of stuck out for me as a Mabon ritual is you don't experiment on Thanksgiving. You do experiment on Mabon.
Oh, I like that.
So if there's something that I know that I want to make for Thanksgiving, this is a great time to test the recipe.
Okay. Yeah.
So this past year for Thanksgiving, I made a scalloped potato because I love a scalloped potato. One of my favorite foods probably.
We're back to food.
I tested my recipe for Mabon, had it around that time.
Yeah,
And then I was like, okay, this is what I want to bring to Thanksgiving. Great. I had some experience under my belt. I wouldn't get in trouble for experimenting on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And everybody would have scalloped potatoes.
Yeah. I started making around Mabon last year. Magic Hour Tea, who we love on the pod.
Big fans.
They have a line of pumpkin spice teas, and one of them is a fireside chai.
Yum.
And it's so good. And they released in their newsletter last fall like a pumpkin spice chai bread recipe, which I'm not really a pumpkin girly. I made that so many times. I made one for Joe. That's how often I made it.
Yeah.
I literally there's a tutorial on my YouTube video where I like made it into a whole fucking thing and like a spell, and it was so good. And so my house constantly smelled like pumpkin and fireside chai. And so then I started making simmer pots with the same ingredients.
Yep.
So like for me, Mabon is really like leaning into that like warm, cozy, but also like abundance.
Yes.
Like those foods, those flavors, those scents for me are always like very abundant, very like prosperous, very luck oriented. And so that's like always the mood that I go into the autumn equinox in. And I really, really love autumn from like a Chinese medicine perspective, because it's all about like releasing what no longer serves you. Like just as the trees let go of their leaves, but also like in TCM, autumn is connected with the lungs. And so it's like inhaling, releasing. And like, I just love that. Like, it feels like for me, the first time in the year that I can really take a deep exhale.
Yeah, for sure. And something else with this time of year is that, you know, it's right around this time that everybody comes out with their fall menus at the coffee shop. It's a great time to bring in that pumpkin spice. Like that's a ritual in and of itself. And then that's when I'm participating in every damn day.
Yeah.
Like anytime I am out and about. This is where my my coffee budget increases dramatically.
Yeah, I don't love a pumpkin spice, but I love a brown sugar.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
usually
And
there's
the
like a
time of
brown
that.
sugar something. I wonder if like a brown sugar matcha would be good.
Yum. Yes, for
Would it?
sure.
I don't know.
I think-
I'm like a matcha purist right now.
I make a brown sugar syrup at home a lot.
Yeah, I make a churro syrup at
Yeah,
home. That's like
because-
very similar. It's cinnamon and brown sugar.
Because it feels like it's a syrup that I think can be year round, but it's usually just a fall thing. So during the summertime, I'll make it at home. And I think I've put it in a matcha before. I'm
know.
sure it's good.
Might have to experiment.
I love brown sugar. I prefer brown sugar to regular sugar.
Same.
I put it in everything. And molasses has that sort of like fall energy as well from like a spice and a flavor perspective, but also in like the phrase slow as molasses.
Yeah.
This is the period of time where we begin to slow down.
Yeah. I also really love brown sugar for abundance workings.
Yeah.
Because I always set the intention that like it's sticky, like abundance is sticking to me, and I can be patient with it.
Yes.
Right? Because of that molasses is very slow.
Totally.
So it's more like, you know how sometimes like we worry that abundance rituals like, oh, it's going to bring it in a bad way. Like, cause you know, whatever. I always trust that like if I don't see signs of it now, it's because the seeds are being fertilized here,
For
and it will
sure.
have like a much more sustainable outcome.
Yeah. And so this is that period of time that I really make a ton of those molasses cookies that I was telling you about, the Claire Saffitz ones. And that brings in that element as well. It's a huge, like I always have molasses in my cabinet because of those cookies, because I make them all the time.
Yeah.
And it has those same, like those warming spices that bring in that fire,
Yeah.
warm the spirit, but also help me slow down.
Yeah. I also really love to run this time of year.
Yeah.
Like even when we're not training for a half marathon, like I always find when the air gets crispy, I crave running. And I think it's because it's like that lung energy, that releasing energy. And for me, like my brain gets quiet when I run. And like usually it's like I listen to an audiobook or a podcast when I'm running, and it's like my brain turns off work mode. Like it's no longer like, you know, if I'm just walking, then I'm like thinking about doing something or thinking about my to-do list. But if I'm running and I'm listening and I'm focused on like, okay, 1 mile left, whatever, it just like, it brings me this sense of peace, even though I hate it for the first like 2 miles. It brings that sense of peace to me that like no other form of movement really brings me.
Yeah, I get that, and I relate a lot. I think that running has become really meditative for me, and I've noticed such a difference in and maybe that's part of the reason that I have such a hard time with summer, is that it's so hard to do any of those things. I love running in the cold in Florida, just because our cold is like, you know, it's just not as cold. So even in our like
your cold is my autumn.
Yeah, and it's never, you know, like we're finally at this point like entering the part of the year where I really enjoy running again and can do it, and I don't have as much pain from my PCOS and all those things, because the heat really does compound it and make it harder, especially because I'm on this medication that makes it really hard for me to like be hydrated enough. And so it just becomes a lot easier for me to do those things that bring me joy and bring me back to center. And so I just love autumn.
I love it.
I'm so excited. Okay, so some low effort rituals, things that we can do to honor the season. I'm bringing back one of my Ostara recommendations, which is bringing those elements of balance to your altar, because the autumn equinox, again, is where day and night are equal in the same way that the spring equinox is. So having that one white candle, one black candle to honor the duality, the balance, that can be a really easy way to honor the season. Also, bringing apples into your spells. Eating an apple even, you know? But there are
apple picking.
Apple
picking. Do they do that down in Florida?
No, I don't think we have orchards.
Oh, come on up.
Okay.
I love apple picking.
I've never been, and I really, really, really want to go.
Oh my
It was one of those things that I would see pictures of people doing on Tumblr and be like, I want to do that so bad. I want to wear flannel and go pick an apple.
Oh, the best part about apple picking is like getting to sample the apples. Like I literally, every time I go, I eat like 12 whole apples.
Yeah. Apple is like one of my favorite flavors too. That's one of my favorite fall flavors.
They taste so different off the tree than in the grocery store. I heard somewhere that by the time an apple gets to the grocery store, it's like a year old.
What?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I have no idea.
How do they go bad in my fridge so quickly?
Don't know if it's true. Have no idea. But I will tell you, I was like, oh, that's why they're so much sweeter off the tree. And I find like apple picking is a really nice way to connect with like the spirit of the trees.
Yeah.
Because like it's almost like a divination practice. So everyone does this or should do this. They advise you to, but when you go apple picking, you're not supposed to pull them off the tree because it can hurt the tree. You're supposed to like gently twist, and if it comes off naturally, then it's ready.
Okay.
And so like there is this like meditative quality to apple picking, because you can't just like
you have to be thoughtful.
Yeah, you have to be thoughtful. You have to walk through. You have to find the kind you want, and then it's almost like I started asking the tree, like, may I have this? And then if it comes off easy, it's a yes, and if it doesn't, so if you're ever curious about wanting to strengthen that connection with like asking nature if you can have something of its, possession. I think apple picking is a really beautiful.
That's so fun.
And then you get hot cider and you just get cozy. And we go to this apple picking place that like literally it's like so Pinteresty. Like you look out and you can see mountains and all the trees are turning. And then they often, like some farms will have a bin of like crappy apples. That are like not for consumption, and they'll sometimes have like fun things where you can like put it in a catapult and like launch them, and you can pick pumpkins. There's hay rides. It's so fun.
Oh, I want to go.
Come on up.
Okay, here I come.
And then often what I'll do is, because you pick way too many apples, you can never eat as many apples as you pick, because like I'm not gonna get one bag. I'm gonna be done in like an hour, and I want to get like 2 of everything. Is I will make like an apple crisp, and I will often infuse it with like spices and like do my kitchen witchcraft as I do, and that's like just a really lovely, like I hate cooking, I hate baking, I love that ritual. Like I think autumn is the only time I really enjoy being in my kitchen.
Yeah.
You know?
I love to bake. And so that's a huge part of my autumn ritual, especially. It's a huge part of my practice in general.
You've never baked anything for me.
Well, because I used to live in such a tiny apartment that I was like, I've lost a lot of my baking spark. I will bake us something to celebrate after our half marathon for us to come home and eat.
You heard it here first.
Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what the vibe is, and I'll find something.
Just all the food.
And also, in my defense, every time we are together, we fill every waking moment with work and things we have to do. So I don't really have a ton of time for baking.
We should just go on a friend vacation.
I know. We should just go on a
writing
friend
retreat.
A writing retreat.
Let's rent an Airbnb somewhere and we can just bake and read and write.
I'm in.
And not talk to each other for like half the day because otherwise we won't get anything done.
We do like 2 hours of like what we need, like want to do, what we feel productive doing. And then we have like a 30-minute sit and yap. And then we do 2 hours and then like a 30. I'm into that.
Like Pomodoro, but yeah.
And we stay in an Airbnb on an apple orchard.
I was thinking like a lake.
Ooh, I would love a lake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could
be fun. Baking with apples, eating apples, using them in spell work. They're really great symbols of fertility, of love, of growth.
We've talked about it before, but something that I've started doing whenever I eat apples is cutting them like lengthwise, because then you can see that their seeds create a perfect pentacle.
Yes.
It's just like, I don't know, it just like sparks so much joy.
And feels protective. And it's a way to like bring that energy in too.
Yeah, it's so grounding. And it's just like, I'm just like in awe of nature when those like simple things, it's like my entire life, I've cut an apple with an apple cutter. And so I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, I think I was slicing it for a simmer pot and I was like doing something goofy in a video, you know? And I was like, there's a star.
There's a star
and then I was
here.
like, when I was looking up the lore of and mythology of apples, I learned like, oh, the pentacle. And that's why they're so deeply embraced by witchcraft. And I was just like, oh my God, pentacle.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, I don't know. That's just like a part of my practice now where I'm just like,
For sure.
so
yeah.
fun.
Another fruit that you can work with around this time of year is pomegranate, especially if you work with or identify with the Greek pantheon. You'll know
Persephone.
Hades. This is where she makes her return to the underworld. And depending on your interpretation of that myth, that can be, you know, taken a couple different ways. But pomegranates are really great symbols of cycles. And they are also a really great in abundance workings. And so eating pomegranates, I love pomegranate juice. I used to, when I was in high school, I went through this huge phase, and I think about it all the time, where I would go get a pre-made Publix sandwich and a huge thing of pomegranate juice, or get actual like the pomegranate seeds in the little cup. They're like were pre-popped out.
Here we go. I have a life hack for you because
Please.
I hyperfixated on pomegranates so bad in high school. Like every time I visited my dad, I would have to get like 2 pomegranates. So like twice, I was eating so many pomegranates, and they're hard. They're
really
annoying.
they're hard to get the seeds out.
Here's what you do. Okay. You're going to put them in a bowl. You're going to cut it lengthwise, put it in a bowl, smack it with a wooden spoon, fill it with water. So the husk is going to float and the seeds are going to sink.
Yep.
That's how you get it out. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, I will say pomegranates are so deeply tied to garnet. The name garnet actually comes from like the word for little seed, which is because they looked like little pomegranate seeds. And because of the connection of Hades and Persephone, so Hades used to give Persephone a pomegranate to ensure she would return to the underworld. And so garnet historically has been used like if a friend is going on a trip to ensure their safe travel. So as soon as I learned that, it started to become like my best friend moved out to Reno and she was planning to come back after this like work thing that she was doing after like a year or so. And I gave her a garnet when she left, and she keeps it with her.
Aww.
And it's just like,
that's so sweet.
I just love that kind of like lore connection between like fruits. I also find like there's so many ties of pomegranate throughout the tarot. Like as I've been learning, I know this came up in the class that you and Anthony did so much. Like a lot of people were noticing like the pomegranate symbology. And so just knowing that lore has brought so much depth to my tarot practice. So I look for those like little symbols of like pomegranates and things like that, at least in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Other decks might not have that, but it's just brought a lot of like just joy to that experience too.
Yeah, and it's a really great symbol to have in the tarot as well because of that that identity of like cycles, where they call the major arcana the fool's journey. It's the tarot is all about cycles and movement, and the idea is that we repeat those cycles over and over. So seeing those pomegranates through there makes sense in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I love pomegranates like in imagery in general. I think that they're like beautiful and also really cool and symbolic.
Did you know? My final fun fact about pomegranates. You can use pomegranate juice in place of blood for blood magic.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense because it's that same deep, rich color. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So often I like associate pomegranates with like blood in general. A lot of times, like for me, it comes through as like menstruation. Yeah. Like there's like some tie there. I think it's like probably the seed and the fertility like aspects of it. But I just think like there's so much cool history and lore to pomegranates. Like if you love this stuff, like, please just like go on a rabbit hole. I just love it. One of my favorite posts I make on Instagram is like all about the magical intentions of different like fruits, vegetables, herbs, because I just go on a deep dive of like the history of their use and the mythology and the lore. And like, I just feel like it adds this like flavor to whatever I'm like cooking with or eating or consuming. And pomegranates are one of my favorites, if not my favorites that I've ever researched.
Yeah, I love the mythology of pomegranates.
So cool.
All right, are you ready to rapid fire some correspondences?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Last one, best one, baby. All right, for colors, this shall not surprise you. Orange, red, and brown symbolize those autumn leaves, that cycle, that death and rebirth.
Wait, I thought of another low effort ritual.
Okay, hit me.
I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you this. This is probably only good for like people in the northern, but when you come up in the fall and go apple picking, you can do this. My favorite mindfulness practice in the fall is taking a walk and trying to step on all the crispy leaves. Oh. And like really enjoying, because I don't know if you've done this, but when you get like, sometimes you get like a leaf that looks crispy, but it's squishy. And sometimes you get a leaf that just crunches like a potato chip, and it is the most satisfying thing. And so I literally walk just like looking for them and like going out of my way to step on the crispy leaves. It is like such a joyful experience, but it also forces me to slow down and like pay attention to my environment. So I don't realize I'm meditating while I'm doing it, but I am.
Can we have our bestie rating retreat during peak foliage?
Yeah.
Great, because I don't get to do that.
Please.
There are no crunchy leaves here.
Oh my God. And like when you hit a crunchy leaf, it's like this burst of dopamine.
This is a joy that I do not get to experience.
It's like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's
really.
like popping a pimple.
Wow.
Like it's that level of just like dopamine burst. Joe, can you confirm? Joe is confirming.
Amazing. Okay, great.
I'm in. Oh man, I can't. Oh,
I love that as a mindfulness practice.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, back to our course.
Sorry.
That's okay. No,
I had to add that one in because I know if you know, you know. Like there's gonna be that's gonna be the thing that everybody comments on. They're gonna be like, "Ooh, yeah."
Just make me really rub the salt in the wound.
I will.
That I live in the hottest.
You have said for years you will come up to Maine. I have said for years, come up during autumn. You're gonna love it, and you have not done it. So
it's just the one real drawback of working in spiritual spaces is that this is the busiest time.
Yeah.
Like retail and in like a metaphysical space. It's so hard to justify going anywhere. Like I can never travel in October for the rest of forever. And in my defense, we were planning on me visiting in September, and then this happened. So, anyways,
excuses.
I'll get there. Trust me. I will never hear the end of it until I get there. I promise. I'm trying my best.
Vote in the comments, folks. What do you think will happen first? Madison visits Maine or Madison watches Aladdin?
Truly, could go either way.
Honestly.
Anyways, colors for Mabon. We got orange, red, and brown. That autumn leaf, those cycles of death and rebirth. Dark green to symbolize the earth and our connection to it, our gratitude for it. Gold for the harvest. And purple for that element of like mystery that I feel like really comes in. Do you know what I mean? Like, what mystery novel isn't set in like the crunchy leaves? You know, like to me, in my mind, any cozy mystery happens in the fall time. Like there's a chill in the air.
Like a late summer, like right on the cusp.
And it's kind of like as we get to Mabon is right before Samhain. And so I really do feel like there's a connection there as
Yeah.
like once Mabon's over, we begin the veil thinning.
Yeah.
And so it has that connection to that mystical sort of energy
Yeah.
that I really wanted to include there.
I was thinking like blueberry pie, blackberry pie, like those feel very, very this time. Like they're kind of coming out of season. So you're like really enjoying them and they're purple.
Yeah.
Eggplant.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, purple carrots.
Okay, now we're just naming purple things.
So hungry.
Okay, for herbs, we've talked about apples and pomegranates, but we've also got grapes for joy and prosperity.
Another purple food.
Another purple food. And then sage for wisdom and cleansing. And
another purple food. There's purple sage.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Cool. And then rosemary for remembrance. And then for crystals, we've got amethyst for insight and balance.
Purple.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just.
I wasn't aware.
Well, there's pink amethyst too, so. Get clear.
Citrine again for abundance.
Yeah.
Obsidian for grounding, and smoky quartz for transition.
I'm throwing garnet in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
totally.
for that pomegranate connection. I'm really excited that you now have taught me that pomegranates are associated with autumn equinox, because as we approach the autumn equinox, I am looking for an excuse to not shut the fuck up about pomegranates and their lore.
It's so cool.
Yeah, cueing that post back up.
Amazing. Guys.
Did we do it?
We did it. Oh my God. Let us know what you guys thought of this series, what you guys thought of the video podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make it a little tradition to do a few series a year.
Yeah.
In a studio environment.
Could be fun.
Could be fun.
And reminder, if you want to support the pod, you can join the Patreon. If you want to support your own practice, Madison has a candle subscription service where every 6 weeks you're going to get a sabbat candle. And I have a autumn equinox, spring equinox, equinox solstice Reiki ceremonies, and you can get all 4 for the price of 3.
Yeah, we really, really love celebrating the seasons. And so I think it's been a huge part of our practice to develop these offerings to be in community with one another. We also at Spellcrafter are bringing virtual rituals back around. So keep an eye out for that. We send you a package. You get to celebrate with us. We do a Zoom. We do the ritual all together.
Fun.
It's going to be a really great time. And I don't know. I just have really loved doing this series. This has been really fun. Going into this, I was terrified. We set a really lofty goal of 8 episodes in 2 days, the most we've ever done. I don't even know that we've recorded 3 in a day before.
I think we did 3 in a day once. One was an Akamam.
And we lost our marbles. And so I was really concerned about what this was going to be like. And it has been so fun.
Yeah.
There's just such a difference to doing this podcast in person that I love so much.
Yeah.
And so I love you, and I'm glad we get to do this together.
I love you too.
And I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. You make so much of what we do possible. We would not be in this room if you guys did not like listening to us be this way.
Yeah. Our final thank yous. Big thank you to Justin Moore, Creator Wizard, for providing us this space. Really, I won this at his event, Sponsor Games. I will be there in 2026. So if you are interested if you're a creator, you're interested in working with brand partnerships, highly, highly recommend everything that Justin Moore does at Creator Wizard. He's a book called Sponsor Magnet. He's a super nice guy. Sponsor Games was the most fun I've had up until this trip. And big thank you to Kit Studios, and big thank you to Joe. Joe, make an appearance.
Yeah, Joe, get in the frame.
Bring
Come
Joe
on.
out. Bring out Joe. Bring out Joe.
Okay, no, we respect Joe's boundaries. Joe doesn't want to, and that's okay.
We'll put a picture of Joe right
she
here.
Remains. I was gonna say she remains a nameless or a faceless figure.
People know Joe.
I love the idea that you're just our anonymous bodyguard.
Yeah. And
that's
big thank you to both Drews in our lives.
Yeah.
Your Drew for holding our bags yesterday at the photo shoot, and Joe's boss Drew for letting us take Joe for multiple days.
Yes.
Out of the office.
Bless you, Drew.
But also doing every crazy video editing task I've ever asked him for in the last 6 years.
Love you guys. Mean it.
Love you.
We will see you next time.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Demystify Magic with Molly and Madison. All our links, from spells to ceremonies to ways to support us, are waiting in the show notes.
We'd love to hear your magic moment of the week. Share it in a review, tag us on socials, or bring it to our Patreon clubhouse at demystifymagic.com.
And remember, you are the magic.
Okay, love you.
Bye.